Hey everybody, it's Angel, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. And let me tell you, first and foremost, I need your prayers today. It seems like the enemy is already on the prowl, so there must be something in this message today for somebody out there, okay? So we're going to be reading in Luke chapter 22 this morning. Now, Luke chapter 22, there's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of important word. And anytime Jesus is speaking, that really kind of ups the ante for me. I love to hear the words of Jesus. Those words in red really touch me. But today we're going to be focusing on chapter 22 of Luke, verses 28 through 32. Now it says here, "Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father have appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones of judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren." Now, he says here that Satan desired to have him, to sift him as wheat. Peter is every one of us. But what does it mean to be sifted as wheat? Let's think back here. Back in those days, what they had was threshing floors. And the threshing floors was usually close to where the harvest was. And all of the wheat and the tares that was gathered together, they would put on these threshing floors, which was just the ground, and they would have oxen, and the oxen would pull this board, and the board had shards of pottery or rocks in it, and they would drag it over the wheat and the tares, and it would kind of break them up and separate them. Then they would take that part and they would put it in another pile. And these people would have winnowing forks. And winnowing forks are kind of like pitchforks, what you would think of today. And they would kind of take a big old scoop of it and toss it up in the air. And the wind would blow some of that, the stalks and the chaff and different things away. Then they would take that stuff that was sorted and they would take it to another pile, and these people would sift through it. And that was kind of like the final judgment of this wheat. They would be sifted, and the useful parts of this fruit, of this harvest, was picked out so it could be something useful. So Jesus is telling Peter here that the enemy wishes to sift you like wheat. It says here that he says he desires to have you. Satan desires to have each and every one of us, to sift us like wheat. But what does that mean? It means that Peter, just like us, we have to endure some things. Peter had already been enduring some things. Sifting is one of the last processes of this wheat. He said here, and he promised him that thou art converted. So Peter knew by Jesus saying that there was going to be a blessing at the end of the road. Peter, he was told in these few scriptures here, not only are you going to have to endure some things, he said that you're going to have a purpose. He said that you're going to be sitting on thrones, judging the 12 tribes. You're going to be strengthening the brethren. I'm going to nourish you, because you're going to be eating and drinking at my table in the kingdom, is what it says there in verse 30. Today, you are given a purpose. You're going to have to endure some things, but there's a blessing. But I want to point out here, it says, Simon, Simon. The Lord called Simon personally. He talked to Peter personally. That's what he wants to do to us. That's what he does to us every day, is he wants that one-on-one. He wants to get your attention. He called Peter's name twice. And he was like, Peter, this is important. Listen to me. He's calling you today because what he wants to say is important to you. He wants to sift you. He says that there's gonna be a harvest. There's gonna be trials. There's gonna be some work that has to be done. There's gonna be an examination of your fruits. But he says, I'm praying for you. How powerful is it to think that the Lord is praying for us? He is interceding at the right hand of the Father for you at this very moment. He is praying for your success. He is praying for you to get home this morning. We just have to endure just for a little while. Hang on to that purpose that He's given you. Hang on to that promise. Then I want to jump over here in the same chapter. Jesus is praying in the garden. And it says here in verse 41, it says, and he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and he kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. Then it says that there was an angel that appeared unto him from heaven, strengthening him. And he began in an agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. I have to believe today that Jesus is at the right hand of the Father praying more earnestly for us today. Imagine what a great work, what miracles could be done if we took our prayer life from praying to praying more earnestly, getting down on that threshing floor and building our altar and praying more earnestly today for our brethren, for our family, for our church, for our country. Get on your knees today and pray more earnestly. The enemy wants to sift us like wheat this morning. He wants you. He desires you because he sees the harvest. He sees your fruits today, and he wants to claim them. He wants to sift you. But be not afraid. Jesus is praying for you this morning, praying more earnestly. So if Jesus can pray more earnestly today, I know we can. I hope you get something out of this message today, and I hope you enjoy your Valentine's. Have a great day, and we love you. Bye.